making some tea, because oh boy are we gonna spill some tea today. Hello reptile friends and welcome back to another video. My name is India, aka Anacondiac. Now just before we start I want to apologise for my appearance. Within the last 10 days I have had surgery on my face. I actually only got my face splint off yesterday. 4 days ago I looked like this. I've actually been bleeding out of my eyes, which I didn't know you could do that. It was something that my brain had never ever wanted to think about, and then all of a sudden it was happening to me, and it was horrible. Looking in the mirror and then you got like blood running down your face. No, it was grim. It was grim as hell. But yes, so yesterday I got my face splint off. I had a septorhinoplasty because I had broken my nose 3 times before. Yeah, I still look all puffy and bruised, but I can make myself look kind of semi-normal. So here I am, risen from the ashes like some kind of shitty, puffy, black-eyed phoenix. And I got a new camera so you can see all my black eyes and all my, you know, HD glory. My lovely puffy face in HD. Look at those bruises. Look at those bruises. I can't work out how to zoom on my new camera. No, that's too close. Too close. No, there we go. There we go. Back to normal. Oh, it hurts to laugh. It hurts to smile. But yeah, point being of this random opening, I'm still healing, so take it easy on me. And if I sound weird, I also can't breathe out my nose. I probably won't be able to for a few weeks, so I sound all nasally as well. Aren't I just the perfect little package right now? So on the 5th of August, shit went down on Twitter, let me tell you. This guy called Devon, aka @thatkid_doingit, he posted a video on his Twitter which ended up going viral. It got 2.54 million views as of right now. So here's the video if you haven't seen it. So I was so angry when I saw this video. I knew I wanted to make a video about it immediately, but I had my face splint on and I was in the hospital, so I couldn't do anything about it. And I actually first saw the video on Twitter when it was retweeted by a couple of famous YouTubers who were saying like how angry it made them and how unacceptable it was. And poor Taco the iguana, like no animal should ever be thrown across the room at all. So yeah, in the space of 5 days, the video got 2.54 million views. And it got 616 comments, and I'm happy when I was looking through the comments that about 80% of the 616 comments are asking about Taco's welfare and saying that the video is basically animal cruelty, which it is. And then there's only 20% of people like that were saying how funny it was and all that kind of thing, which is just, one guy was like, this is the hardest that I've laughed at a video on the internet. Like, come on. No, the iguana was thrown. It hit a shelf. It could be like mangled and broken on the inside. Just no, it's not funny. Animal abuse is not funny, ever. Do I have to say it louder for the people in the back? Animal abuse is not funny, ever. Okay? Everybody with me on that? Okay, cool. I think this video is worse and worse the more times you watch it, because the first time I watched it I didn't see that Taco hit this shelf thing. I just thought he gets kind of flung across the room and he hits the wall. But then as I rewatched it and I rewatched it, I realised, so when he gets flung across the room, he actually hits that shelf with enough force to knock that water bottle or whatever it is off. It was a pretty forceful throw that launched Taco across the room. Poor Taco, like justice for Taco. This video is justice for Taco 2K18. Can we do that, guys? Can we hashtag it? Justice for Taco. Let's get it trending. So Taco looks like a green iguana. Now green iguanas are probably the most common iguana that you'll see in the pet trade, and they do get pretty sizable, but I'm not here to talk about if iguanas make good pets for reptile keepers. I'm not talking about that because I personally don't own one, so I don't want to comment. All I know is this guy owns an iguana. He owns an iguana called Taco, who is a juvenile iguana. He's not very big at all. He's still small. He is still easily breakable. But yeah, green iguanas are arboreal. Oh, and by the way, I am going to link all of the research that I did all of the facts that I found in the description box, so don't just listen to me, go and read up yourselves. Green iguanas are arboreal, and apparently they can survive falls of 50 feet, which is 15 meters. But because they spend a lot of time climbing trees, they actually have very powerful hind legs, so when they fall, they use their powerful hind legs and their claws to grab onto branches and leaves. This actually slows their momentum right down, so when they hit the ground they're not travelling as fast and it doesn't do as much damage. Taco had none of that. Taco was launched sideways across the room into a shelf, so he did not have anything to fall and to catch himself and slow his momentum as he went sideways, so he could not do what iguanas would do in the wild. So that's the first thing that I want to mention. So I've actually done a little bit of research on how far humans can fall without hurting themselves. So humans can survive falls up to around 50 feet or 15 meters, which is the same as these green iguanas. Sometimes it doesn't matter the distance that you fall, it can be the way that you fall and where you land, because if you land and you hit your head, or you land in such a way that you injure vital parts of yourself. And it's just the same for iguanas as it is for humans, because poor Taco survived a fall that was a good couple of times the length of his body, and if you saw someone survive a nasty fall, even if they look okay, they could be in shock. So you would still advise them to go to the emergency room to get checked out, because it's just the right thing to do. The same should be for reptiles. Just because your reptile looks okay after it's had a fall or an accident doesn't mean that it actually is okay. It could just still be in shock from the accident. You need to go get it checked out. If you yourself are not a qualified reptile vet, then you are not qualified to pass judgment on whether or not your animal is okay. Get your reptile to the vet and make sure that it is okay before you post a video on Twitter. Another thing that lizards have evolved to do over time to help protect themselves in situations like this is that just how cats twist their torsos to try and always land on their feet, lizards will actually propel their tail in a circular motion which moves their body the opposite way, and that kind of just rights themselves and helps them land like on their feet. But with Taco being thrown sideways, even if he twists himself, he's not landing on his feet, he is landing sideways. The impact against the shelf is going to go sideways. I would worry with that sideways impact that his head and his ribs and his spine especially would be at risk of injury. The tail twisting mid-air manoeuvre would definitely have helped Taco in the kind of vertical drop from the shelf into the pile of clothes, but it probably would not have helped him during the first part of his mid-air adventure. But yeah, I am worried that Taco wouldn't be displaying injury. Younger lizards especially, just like Taco, they are prey animals, and reptiles quite often won't show any kind of harm, because if you think about it in the wild, that would make them look like an easy target for predators. So quite often they act like there's nothing wrong and they will continue to move. They could have, you know, fractured or broken limbs, and if they can, they will still move like it is normal. That is what they are inbuilt to do, to make them look less like a nice tasty snack for a bird. You know, it makes them look like a healthy lizard that can, you know, run away rather than an injured one that would make an easy target, you know. So even if your pet reptile is acting normal after a fall, chances are they still could have injuries to their body that they are just not showing, because that is what they are hardwired to do. So that's why it's so important to always take the reptile to a vet after a fall or after an injury, just because you never know what injuries they could actually be hiding in their body when they just look fine. And I mean, that's just like the physical injuries that he could be experiencing. What about like the mental injuries and the mental stress put on Taco? Like, what must the mental trauma be like for Taco? Launched airborne across a room. I'd be stressed. I'm stressed just watching the video, like, and I didn't have to experience it. Like, poor Taco. Justice for Taco. Am I overreacting? Possibly, but it's in Taco's best interest, so. He must be so stressed after going through all of that, and stress in reptiles is a really, really bad thing. Stress can cause so many things in reptiles, from just lowering their appetite to actually lowering their cortisol levels, which results in their immune systems being compromised, and that can be fatal for reptiles. So keep them happy, keep them healthy, don't let them be stressed, and you'll be fine. Anywho, moving on to the next day, which was August 6th, and that kid _ doing it uploaded another video. He uploaded this one of Taco.
Back here, you're from the front. Who's back here?
I think. Well, I think it's the fuses on my hand. No.
Oh, ain't the main one in the front?
I'm not sure.
You know, and at first glance it looks like Taco's doing well. The caption says, Taco is alive and doing well, and you know, he looks like an iguana, he has all of his limbs, he's looking, you know, he's looking decent, until you look a little bit closer. Now, to anyone that's not familiar with reptiles, Taco is doing something called mouth gaping, which is when they open and close their mouth repeatedly, or like they hold their mouth open for long periods of time. Prolonged mouth gaping during handling, which is what I honestly believe Taco is displaying here during this video, often means that they are uncomfortable and stressed, and they are just not happy with the situation. He could be scared, he could be uncomfortable or stressed, or a combination of all three. It's really hard to say because we are not Taco, we can't read his mind. We can just look at his body language and try and interpret what his mouth gaping means. If there's any kind of wheezing or laboured breathing, or if he has any mucus in the mouth during mouth gaping, that usually means that there's a respiratory infection going on. There's not any evidence of that. So I'm not trying to suggest that or anything. I do think that the mouth gaping is just a sign that Taco is still recovering, he is still stressed. So the guy who sent that kid _doing it, this Snapchat of Taco, appears to be the owner. The owner looks like someone called Johnny, and Johnny is obviously just saying that Taco is fine, Taco is well. But Johnny, please just take Taco to the vet. I'm appealing to you as a mother of lizards myself. I have lizards, I have snakes, reptiles my whole life. Johnny, if you are watching this, or that kid _doing it, if you are watching this, take Taco to the vet, please. I know it does seem like I'm overreacting, but I have seen so many things on my newsfeed that make me go, holy shit. Why are they doing this in regards to animals and reptiles? Or like prank videos involving, you know, reptiles and that kind of thing. And people say, oh, you know, it was just a prank, the reptile wasn't harmed. Like, that doesn't matter, the reptile can still be stressed. It's just more the point, it's still not acceptable. Why do people think that it's okay to use animals to get shocking reactions? Because it's not okay in any form. I mean, for God's sake, like, the amount of videos that I've seen on my timeline, like this one, where there's a tarantula crawling out of her mouth, like the poor tarantula being put in there, it's not natural, it's not okay. Or even better, this one's gonna shock you, this lovely video.
It's a world star snake. She can tell you why. This is a world star snake.
520, that's all I am, 551. Wow. That's my push too.
Ooh.
That's my push.
You guessed it, she deep-throated a snake. Don't deep-throat snakes. That's not something that I ever wanted to have to say on the internet, but I'm gonna go ahead and say it again. For those in the back who can't hear me, don't deep-throat snakes. Don't do it. If you wake up in the morning and go, I'm gonna deep-throat a snake, don't do it. Just check yourself, sit down, have a cup of tea, and don't. I want you all out there to promise me, don't deep-throat snakes. I wanted my little PetTube channel to be all family friendly, but here we are, you know, talking about shoving animals in your mouth. It was just not that one video, may I add. You know, there are others out there.
Hey, yo, hold on. Oh. Go ahead. Oh, shit. Yo.
I just can't take it anymore. There needs to be so much more awareness about it. We need to get it out there. We need to call people out when we see it rather than just retweeting. Like, we need to call it out and we need to try and stop it and do something more. Because it is happening out there. People are doing these things to animals. People can be really twisted and do these things and post it on the internet to get views, and there's got to be a change. There has to be. There needs to be something that changes. So yeah, I'm done ranting with this video. I'm sorry that it was a bit, you know, a bit darker than my usual videos. This topic has really affected me as an owner of many reptiles myself. Yeah, I'm sorry for the long video, but if you stuck it out to the end, I am very, very thankful, and thank you for putting up with my my lovely bruised face. And before I go, please, if you see any kind of animal abuse happening on social media, you can tweet it to me at Anacondiac. And remember to subscribe. I put out new videos every week. And then hit the little bell notification button and you will never miss one of my uploads. For my social media links, they are in the description, and I will see you next week for another video. Bye guys!